I always thought loyalty was simple, and maybe that was my first mistake. I trusted my heart too much, trusted love even more, and for 5 years I built my whole world around Mia Dawson. I used to say things like, she's the only person who truly sees me, and I actually believed it. I believed every soft smile, every late-night promise, every time she held my hand and said she wasn't going anywhere. I was Ethan Cole, the guy who would rather break himself than break someone he cared about, and I thought that made me strong. But everything changed the night I walked up the stairs to her apartment and heard her voice whispering through the door. At first I smiled, thinking she was on the phone, but then I heard a second voice. A man's voice. A voice I knew better than my own. Ryan. I whispered under my breath. My best friend. My brother in everything but blood. I pressed my ear to the door, and my heart started pounding so hard I thought it might punch through my ribs. I shouldn't be here, I whispered, but my feet didn't move. Mia's voice floated out again, soft and warm, the way she used to talk to me. Ryan, stop laughing, she said. You're going to get us caught. His laugh cut me like a blade. He never comes unannounced, Ryan said. Relax. My stomach twisted. I knocked before I could talk myself out of it. The laughter inside stopped instantly, like someone hit pause on their perfect little moment. When Mia opened the door, her eyes widened like she'd seen a ghost. Ethan, what are you doing here? She asked. I stepped inside without answering. Ryan stood behind her, frozen, his face pale. Say something, I told him. Please. He looked at the floor, silent. Mia reached for my arm. Ethan, it's not what it looks like. I laughed, short, cold, painful. Then tell me what it is, I said. I want to hear you say it. Mia opened her mouth but no words came out. Ryan finally whispered, I'm sorry. I stared at him, feeling something inside me break in a slow, painful snap. How long? I asked. He swallowed hard. Mia looked away. Ethan, please don't make me say it. Say it, I repeated. She whispered, months. My lungs felt like they stopped working. You were my best friend, I told Ryan. And you? I asked Mia. You said you loved me. She whispered, I did. I shook my head slowly. No. You don't get to say that now. Mia stepped closer, tears building in her eyes. Ethan, please listen, don't, I said. If you cared, you wouldn't have done this. Ryan finally lifted his head. I never meant to hurt you. But you did, I said. Both of you did. My chest felt tight, like something inside was tearing open. Mia sobbed quietly. I made a mistake, she said. We both did. I answered, you made a choice. I stepped back toward the door. This is the night everything changes, I said. You two made sure of that. Mia reached out again. Ethan, don't go. Please. We can fix this. I shook my head. You broke something I can't put back together. Ryan whispered my name, but I didn't look at him. I opened the door, feeling the cold air hit my face like a slap. Goodbye, I said. This is where it ends. And then I walked away before I completely fell apart. As I reached the stairs, my hands shook so badly I had to grip the railing. I kept hearing their voices echo behind me, mixing with every memory I once protected. I whispered, this is it, Ethan. This is the night you break. But somewhere under the pain, a colder voice rose and said, or the night you wake up. I didn't even make it halfway down the stairs before I heard Mia running after me. Ethan, wait, she cried. I stopped, mostly because my legs felt too weak to keep moving. She grabbed my arm. I shook her hand off, but I still turned. Why him? I asked. My voice cracked, and that alone made me angry. I didn't want her to hear the pain she caused. I wanted my voice to sound strong, steady, in control. Instead, it sounded like a man who just lost everything. Mia wiped her face. It wasn't planned, she said. I swear, Ethan. I was lonely. You were busy. Things got confusing. I stared at her. Confusing? For 5 months. She froze. She hadn't meant to say that number out loud. I watched her realize it, watched her try to fix it. I mean, it wasn't like that. Stop lying, I said. Just say the truth for once. She shook her head. You don't understand the pressure I was under. Then help me understand, I said. Why him? Why my best friend? She looked away and whispered, he listened. I almost laughed. So you cheated because I didn't listen? I'm not saying it's your fault, she said. But I felt alone. Ryan was around. Things happened fast. I stepped back. No. Things don't happen. You choose them. You made every decision. Every message. Every lie. Every moment with him was something you chose. Mia reached for my hand again. Ethan, I messed up. I know I did. But please just talk to me. I don't want to lose you. You already did, I said. You lost me the second you chose him. Her voice broke. I didn't choose him. I chose a moment. Then that moment cost you everything, I said. And it cost me more than you'll ever understand. She cried harder, but I couldn't stay there any longer. The air in her hallway felt thick, heavy, like the walls were closing in on me. I'm done, I said quietly. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't try to fix this. You ended it. I walked away before she could respond, and this time she didn't chase me. She just collapsed against the wall and sobbed. I heard it echo through the stairwell, but I kept going. Outside, the night felt colder than it should have. I walked down the street with my hands shoved into my pockets and my mind spinning in every direction. Tears slipped out even though I tried to blink them back. 5 years, I whispered to myself. 5 years for this. Every memory I replayed turned sharp, like broken glass cutting deeper every time I touched it. Her laughter, her promises, her little notes in my lunchbox, the way she used to lean on my shoulder, all of it felt poison now. By the time I reached my apartment, my face was wet, and I couldn't stop shaking. I didn't know who else to call. I didn't know who I could trust. But I dialed Daniel because he was the only person who had never failed me. When he answered, he said, Ethan? It's late. What's wrong? I couldn't speak for a moment. My breath hitched, and the silence told him everything. I'm coming, he said. 10 minutes later, Daniel walked into my apartment and found me sitting on the floor. Talk to me, he said. I told him everything in broken pieces, choking on words I never wanted to say. When I finished, he put a hand on my shoulder and said quietly, This betrayal will either break you or build you. I looked at him with swollen eyes and whispered, I don't know which one I'm heading toward. He said, You will. But today, just breathe. I'm here. My days turned gray faster than I expected. I woke up each morning feeling like the room had been drained of color, and even my reflection looked tired of seeing me. I barely ate. Work felt like nothing. I moved around like a ghost. Hey, Mr. Carter said one morning, stopping by my desk. You alright? You seem off lately. I'm fine, I lied, eyes fixed on my monitor. You don't look fine, he replied gently. If you need time, say something. I don't, I said because admitting the truth felt like peeling my skin open. He sighed and patted my shoulder before walking off. My phone buzzed all day. Ryan's name flashed once before I blocked him. Then Mia sent long paragraphs, apologies, explanations, excuses. I stared at the notifications and let them rot in silence. That evening, Ava knocked on my door. I opened it with barely enough energy to stand. You look awful, she said immediately. Thanks. I mean it with love, she added, stepping inside. When was the last time you ate something real? I had crackers. She raised an eyebrow. Crackers aren't food. That's survival mode. I'm trying, I muttered. She sat across from me at the table. Talk to me. There's nothing to say. There's everything to say. You're hurting. Anyone can see it. I don't want to talk about them, I whispered. Okay, she said softly. Then talk about you. How are you holding up? I'm not, I admitted, voice breaking despite my best efforts to keep it steady. Ava reached out and squeezed my hand. You're worth more than what they did. You hear me? I hear you, I said, though I barely believed it. Start small, she said. Eat better. Sleep. Write your thoughts down. Just, don't drown like this. Writing. I repeated. Yeah. Let the thoughts out somewhere they can't hurt you as much. After she left, the silence felt heavier than before, but her words lingered. That night, I opened a blank notebook and stared at it until my hand moved on its own. My handwriting was shaky, the ink blotched, but the words came anyway. I'm breaking and I don't know how to stop. I wrote until my wrist hurt. A few days later, a new coworker joined the team. Lena Park. I heard her introduction at the morning meeting, though most of it blurred together. Smart, calm, observant. People whispered about her credentials, but I barely cared. What caught my attention was when she walked over to my desk during lunch. "You're Ethan, right?" she asked. "Yeah. I'm Lena." She smiled, polite but soft. "Can I sit?" "Sure." She sat and opened her lunch. "It's my first week. Trying to get to know the team." "Welcome," I muttered. "You don't talk much, do you?" she said with a light chuckle. "Not lately." She studied me quietly for a moment. "You look tired." "I've had a rough few weeks." "Anything you want to talk about?" she asked, her tone surprisingly gentle. "No," I said quickly. "It's complicated." Her eyes narrowed slightly, not judging, just seeing too much. "Sometimes complicated hurts the most." "Yeah," I murmured. "Something like that." "Well," she said, closing her lunchbox, "if you ever need someone who listens more than they talk, I'm around." I shrugged. "Thanks." "You don't have to tell me anything," she added. "But you don't have to carry everything alone either." For a moment, I didn't know what to say. Something about the way she spoke, quiet, steady, felt like someone handing me a small piece of myself that I'd lost. "I'll keep that in mind," I said. As she walked away, I felt something unexpected. Not healing. Not hope. Just a tiny shift, a faint spark. A seed of change, buried deep, but finally that I was leaving the office when Sophie Hale rushed toward me, calling my name with a shaky voice. I stopped because her eyes looked terrified. She said, "Ethan, please don't walk away. I need to tell you something." I sighed and answered, "If this is about Ryan, I don't want to hear it." She shook her head. "You have to. You deserve the truth." Her hands trembled. I felt a knot form in my stomach. "Fine," I said. "Say it." She took a deep breath and whispered, "Ryan and Mia weren't a one-time mistake. They were together for months." My knees felt weak, but I forced myself to stay still. "Months?" I repeated. She nodded quickly. "He bragged about it," she said. "He told his friends he finally took something from you. They laughed about it." I felt the world tilt. "Why are you telling me this now?" I asked. Sophie looked ashamed. "Because I didn't know how deep it went until today. I heard him again, bragging like he did nothing wrong. And it made me sick." I pressed a hand over my face, trying to breathe. "I thought the truth hurt before," I muttered. I looked at her and said, "You think I can handle this? You think I needed more pain?" She shook her head. "No. But you needed the truth. You deserved it before he ruined more." I whispered, "He already ruined enough." She stepped closer. "Ethan, I'm sorry. Ryan isn't the brother I grew up with anymore. He lost himself, and he dragged everyone with him." I stared at the ground, feeling heat rush through my chest. "I trusted him," I said. "I trusted both of them." Sophie whispered, "I know. That's why I couldn't stay silent." I stepped back and said, "I can't hear any more. I feel like I'm going to be sick." She nodded. "Then go. Just, don't carry this alone." I didn't answer. I just walked past her, my legs shaking so badly I almost stumbled. She called my name once more, but I kept moving. My heartbeat was loud in my ears. Everything tasted bitter. When I reached the parking lot, I leaned against my car and whispered, "Months, they lied for months." The words felt unreal, like someone else was saying them through my mouth. I wanted to scream. When I got home, I went straight to the bathroom mirror. I stared at my reflection and barely recognized the man looking back. My eyes looked hollow, like someone had scooped the life out of them. "What happened to you?" I whispered. My voice sounded haunted. I splashed water on my face, but the shock didn't steady me. It just made me feel colder. I whispered, "Stop suffering. Change something." Saying it out loud felt like grabbing a rope in the dark. For the first time since everything broke, I felt a spark of something that wasn't pain. I stood there breathing hard, gripping the sink until my fingers hurt. "I won't stay broken forever," I said. Hearing my voice steady even a little surprised me. I grabbed a towel and wiped my face. Then I looked straight into my own eyes and said, "You survived tonight. You'll survive tomorrow." The words weren't strong, but they were mine. I stepped out of the bathroom and whispered, "No more letting them control my mind." My hands still shook, but the trembling felt different now, like everything inside me was waking up, piece by piece. And for the first time, I believed change was possible. I knew something inside me had finally shifted. I pushed open the office gym door and muttered, "I can't believe I'm doing this again." The room echoed back at me, almost daring me to step inside. I grabbed the dumbbells anyway. Just one set, I whispered. One step forward. Sweat hit the floor faster than my confidence returned, but I kept going. By the time I reached my desk later, Lena glanced over. You look alive. Or just exhausted, I said, dropping into my chair. No, she insisted softly. Alive. Her voice lingered in my mind long after she walked away. I shook it off and opened my lunch. Real food, I told myself, poking at the vegetables. Not takeout for once. At work I tried speaking up more. During the team meeting Mark Turner smirked at me. You sure you've got that report handled? He asked loudly. I felt the old version of me hesitate, but I forced my back straight. Yes, Mark. I do. Want to review it with me after the meeting? He blinked, surprised. If you're that confident, sure. When the meeting ended, I followed him to his desk. He scanned the report, eyebrows tightening. This model actually works, he said. Of course it works. He looked up. You added predictive layers. When did you learn that? While you were busy doubting me, I said before I could stop myself. He laughed once. All right. Fair point. Mr. Carter approached from behind us. Turner, is that the updated version? Mark handed it over. Mr. Carter studied it, eyes moving quickly. Who revised the structure? He asked. I did, I said, feeling my pulse jump. He nodded slowly. Good work. This is the most coherent model I've seen from you in months. My throat tightened. Thank you. As he walked away, Mark leaned toward me. Guess someone leveled up. I shrugged. Just trying to get back on track. Later, during break, I found Lena by the window. She was stirring her tea, quiet as always. I hesitated before speaking. Hey. She turned, smiling faintly. Hey. You survived, Turner? Barely. He almost combusted when he realized I knew something he didn't. She laughed, a soft sound that felt like a warm hand on my chest. I'm glad you pushed back. You've been different lately. Different good or different concerning? Good, she said. Like you're finally breathing. I leaned against the wall. It doesn't feel that smooth from the inside. It never does, she replied. But I can see it. I looked at her, really looked, and felt something shift in me. Her steady presence made the rest of the day quiet down. Thanks, I said. For what? For noticing. Her eyes softened. You're not as invisible as you think. The words hit deeper than she probably meant them to. I rubbed the back of my neck. Still hurts though, I admitted. Everything. I know, she said. Healing isn't clean. But you're moving. That stayed with me long after we returned to work. At my desk I whispered, I'm moving, just to hear the words out loud. On the way out that evening, Mark called after me. Hey, don't get too comfortable. I'm coming for your spot. I walked backward toward the elevator and grinned. Then you better work harder. He pointed at me. There he is. Finally. As the elevator doors closed, I caught my reflection. I still looked tired, still carried the weight of everything I'd lost. But under it, something steadier was forming. Something mine. I'm coming back, I whispered. The thought settled warmly inside me today. And for the first time, I believed it. I was stirring my coffee when my phone buzzed. You're not going to believe this, Sophie said the moment I picked up. What now? I asked, already bracing myself. It's Ryan. His numbers are tanking. He blamed the team today, and the boss shut him down. I leaned back. Did he really? Oh, completely. And Mia looked furious. They fought outside the office. I only caught pieces, but she said something like, this isn't what I signed up for. I snorted. Interesting. That's not all, she added. He's drinking a lot. Shows up late, leaves early. People are noticing. For a second I didn't know what to say. Thanks for telling me. I figured you'd want the update. How are you holding up? I'm moving forward, I said. Slowly. Good. You deserve better, she said, then hung up. I stared at the wall, letting the words settle. I didn't want to celebrate his downfall, but a quiet shift inside me whispered, finally. Later that evening Daniel texted, dinner tonight? Ava made your favorite. When I walked into their house, Ava grinned. You look taller. I worked out once, I joked. Daniel laughed. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. Sit. Eat. As we passed plates around, Ava asked, "You doing okay?"
"I think so," I said.
"Better than before." Daniel nudged me. "We've got you, all right?"
"I know," I said softly.
"Thank you." After dinner, Lena caught me in the hallway at work. "You seem lighter," she said. "That obvious?" She nodded. "Progress shows. Even when you try to hide it." I rubbed the back of my neck. "I'm trying." "You're doing," she corrected. "Don't downplay that." Something in her voice made my chest warm. "You always know what to say." "I just notice things," she replied. "And I think you're stronger than you realize." I wanted to answer, but Sophie texted again. "Emergency update." I stepped aside and called her. "What happened?" She exhaled dramatically. "Another fight." Loud. "He told me as she stresses him out. She told him he's ruining everything." People heard the whole thing. I blinked. "That fast?" "Yep." "And guess who walked out crying?" I sighed. "Mia?" "Nope. Ryan." That stunned me silent. Sophie lowered her voice. "Listen, you didn't deserve what they did. Seeing this? It feels like the universe finally woke up." I swallowed. "I'm not looking for revenge." "I didn't say you were," she replied. "But sometimes karma clocks in without being asked." When the call ended, I stood there quietly, letting reality shift around me. The pain was still there, but it didn't own me anymore. Not fully. During lunch break, Lena sat beside me. "You look thoughtful." Sophie updated me again. "Bad news?" "For them," I said. "Not for me." Lena studied my face. "Does it help? Seeing things change?" "A little," I admitted. "But the real help is this. Moving. Breathing. Not collapsing all the time." She smiled softly. "That's you taking your power back." I looked at my hands. "Feels strange." "Strength usually does." Her words sank deep, settling calmly inside me. Later, as I walked to my car, I whispered to myself, "I'm getting there." Not out of spite. Not out of vengeance. Just growth. And maybe that was the real win. I didn't expect healing to look like this, quiet, gradual, almost invisible unless I paid attention. But each small shift, each breath that didn't hurt as much, reminded me I wasn't stuck anymore. Even the world outside felt different, like it had been waiting for me to lift my head again and finally see it. I kept walking. When I stepped out of the elevator, I froze. Mia stood in front of my apartment door, arms wrapped around herself, eyes red. She whispered, "Ethan, please. I just need a minute." I exhaled slowly. "Why are you here?" "I had to see you," she said. "You've been ignoring me, and I can't keep pretending everything is fine." "Everything isn't fine," I replied. "You made sure of that." She shook her head. "I know. I messed up. I ruined everything. But please, just listen." I unlocked the door but didn't step inside. "Say what you came to say." "Ryan manipulated me," she blurted out. "He made me believe you didn't care about us anymore. He twisted everything." I stared at her. "And you believed him over me?" "I was confused," she insisted. "I was stressed, lonely. I made mistakes." "Mistakes?" I said. "Mia, you were with him for months." She flinched. "I know. And I hate myself for it." Silence hung between us, heavy and cold. She reached toward me. "Ethan, I loved you. I still do. I was scared of losing you, and I ended up losing myself instead." I stepped back. "You didn't lose yourself. You made choices." Tears slid down her cheeks. "Please don't talk like that. I can't handle it." "You handled hurting me just fine," I said quietly. Her voice cracked. "I'm so sorry. I regret everything. I regret the lies, the distance, the nights I chose him over you. I regret not fighting for what we had." I folded my arms. "Then why didn't you tell me the truth when I walked in that night?" "I panicked," she whispered. "I thought if I explained, you'd leave anyway. So you lied to keep both of us." She wiped her eyes. "I didn't want to lose you." "You lost me the moment you chose him," I said. Her breath hitched. "Ethan, don't say that. Don't talk like it's permanent." "It is." She stared at me like the floor had disappeared beneath her. "I can fix this. I'll do anything. I'll go to therapy, I'll cut him off completely, I'll." "No." She blinked fast. "No?" I'm done, Mia. I kept my voice steady, calm. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just finished. She covered her mouth, sobbing quietly. You don't understand. I can't lose you. You already did. She stepped closer. Ethan, please. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I can't stand the thought of you hating me. I don't hate you, I said. I'm just not yours anymore. Her shoulders shook. You were the best thing in my life. I didn't realize it until I destroyed it. I swallowed hard. You realized it too late. She looked up at me with trembling eyes. Are you really letting me go? I'm letting myself go, I said. From everything that broke me. She whispered, then what am I supposed to do? I don't know, I replied. But it's not my responsibility anymore. She cried harder, leaning against the wall. I thought you'd at least try to hear me out without giving up. I did hear you, I said. And giving up wasn't the mistake here. She whispered something I almost didn't hear. I miss the old you. I nodded once. So do I. But he's gone. Her tears fell faster, not the tears of someone who hurt me, but someone who finally realized I wasn't going to save her from the consequences. Goodbye, Mia, I said. I stepped inside and closed the door gently. My hands shook, but my chest felt strangely light. For the first time since everything shattered, the weight loosened. I didn't forgive her, but I let her go. And it felt like breathing again. When Lena asked, hey, we're all grabbing dinner after work. Want to join? I almost said no. My first instinct was to retreat, like always. I rubbed the back of my neck. I'm not sure I'd fit in. She smiled a little. You fit in more than you think. Come on, Ethan. Just food. No pressure. Who's going? I asked. Mark, Julia, Devon, me, a few others, she said. It'll be fun. I hesitated again, but something in me said yes. All right. I'll go. Her smile warmed me more than I expected. Good. You need this. At the restaurant, the group greeted me like I hadn't been invisible for the past months. Mark slapped my shoulder. Look who finally crawled out of his cave. I laughed. Actually laughed. Relax. I came for the food, not for you. Julia grinned. Sure. Sit next to Lena before she claims this is her victory. Lena nudged her. It's not a victory. It's encouragement. I sat beside her. The table buzzed with loud conversations, jokes, and stories I didn't expect to enjoy. Someone teased Mark for losing a bet. Devon complained about traffic. Julia argued about which movie was the best. I joined in slowly, adding comments, laughing when something hit me just right. At one point Lena leaned toward me. I haven't heard you laugh like that. Is that a good thing? I asked. It means you're human again, she said softly. I stared at my drink. I didn't realize I stopped being one. You've been hurt, she said. It happens. The night drifted into something warm. Easy. Safe. When everyone left, she lingered near her car, turning to me. Can we talk? Just a little? Yeah, I said. I don't mind. We leaned against the railing beside the parking lot. A quiet breeze brushed past us. For once, silence didn't feel heavy. She looked ahead. I know pain when I see it. I swallowed. Because you've seen it before. She nodded. I was with someone for 3 years. Thought he was the one. She let out a breath. Turns out the one was also seeing someone else the whole time. I winced. I'm sorry. I'm not, she said. It taught me what I won't accept again. I shifted my weight. How long did it take you to stop hurting? She glanced at me. A while. But one day, I realized the pain wasn't proof of love. It was proof of how much of myself I gave to someone who didn't earn it. That sounds familiar, I muttered. It should, she replied gently. You gave more than you received. And you blamed yourself for the imbalance. I looked at her. How do you know that? She met my eyes without flinching. Because you look like someone who loved honestly. And someone like that always thinks the crash is their fault. Her words hit somewhere soft inside me. What if I don't know how to start over? You don't need to start over, she said. You just need to move forward. Even if it's slow. I'm still a mess, I admitted. So was I, she said. But messy people can still be good people. I looked down. Am I? She touched my arm lightly. Ethan, you're a good man who deserved better. Something inside me cracked, not in a painful way, but like a locked door clicking open.
"Thank you," I whispered.
"You don't have to say anything else," she said. "Just don't close the door on yourself."
I breathed out.
"I'll try." She smiled softly.
"Good.
Trying is enough." As she drove away, I stood there longer than necessary, letting her words settle. I didn't confess anything. I didn't even know what I wanted yet. But for the first time since everything shattered, I felt something new. Hope, quiet, small, but real. I was sorting papers at my desk when Mark rushed in. "Ethan, someone's waiting for you in the lobby. Says it's urgent." I frowned. "Who?" He looked uncomfortable. "Ryan." My stomach tightened. "Seriously?"
"Yeah."
"Want me to send him away?" I shook my head. "No. I'll handle it." When I stepped into the lobby, Ryan stood up too fast, almost tripping over his own feet. His eyes were swollen, his hair a mess. He looked nothing like the guy who once bragged about everything in his life. He whispered, "Ethan, please. Just 5 minutes."
I crossed my arms. "All right.
5 minutes." We stepped outside into the cold air. He shoved his hands into his pockets. "I don't know where to start."
"Try the truth," I said.
He let out a shaky breath. "Okay, the truth is I messed everything up. I destroyed our friendship. I destroyed myself. I destroyed you."
I stared at him. "You didn't destroy me.
You just showed me who you are." He winced.
"I know.
"And I hate myself for it."
"That's not my problem," I replied.
He nodded slowly. "I guess I deserve that." We stood in silence for a moment before he whispered, "She left." I didn't react. "Mia?" He nodded again.
"Yeah.
She left a week ago. Packed her stuff, said she couldn't take it anymore. Said I ruined her life."
I clenched my jaw.
"And what does that have to do with me?" "She chose me because I made her believe I could give her more," he said. "I told her things about you, lies, stupid things. I made myself look stronger. I made you look weak." My chest tightened. "So you envied me?" He swallowed.
"Yeah.
I envied your life. Your job. Your family. And Mia, she always talked about you. How kind you were. How patient you were. I thought if she saw me the way she saw you, I'd feel like someone worth something." I stared at him in disbelief. "So your solution was to betray me?" "I wasn't thinking straight," he said. "I thought she loved me more. I thought I was winning something."
"Winning?" I echoed.
"Is that what you call it?" He shook his head violently. "Not anymore. Everything fell apart. She stopped trusting me. Stopped talking to me. We fought every day. And when she walked out, she said she should have stayed with you." I breathed out slowly. "And now you're here for what?" "Forgiveness." He nodded, eyes trembling. "I need it, Ethan. I can't live with what I did. I'm not asking for our friendship back. I need to know you don't hate me." I looked at him carefully. He wasn't the friend I grew up with. He wasn't even close. He looked like a stranger wearing the face of someone I used to trust.
"I don't hate you," I said.
"Hating you would mean you still matter in the same way." He froze. "Then what do I matter as?"
"A lesson," I said.
"That's all." His eyes filled instantly. "Ethan. I trusted you with everything," I continued. "You killed that trust. There is no going back. No rebuilding. No starting over. You made choices, and those choices cost you me." He wiped his face with his sleeve.
"I know.
I know I don't deserve another chance. I just hoped.
I don't know.
I hoped you'd say something that didn't hurt this much."
"I'm not trying to hurt you," I said.
"I'm being honest. Something you should have tried a long time ago." He nodded again, broken. "So, this is it. This is it." He whispered, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Ethan." "I hope you learn from it," I said. He let out a choked breath, turned away, and walked off with his head down. I watched him disappear around the corner. For the first time in a long time, I felt something settle inside me, not joy, not pain. Peace. The knock at my door startled me. I wasn't expecting anyone. "Ethan," a gentle voice said. I opened the door to see Mrs. Dawson, Mia's mother, standing there. Her eyes were tired, her hands folded in front of her. "Mrs. Dawson?" I asked. What brings you here?" She gave me a small, sad smile.
"I wanted to apologize."
"For everything." For Mia, for the way things went. I feel responsible in some ways. I stepped aside. Come in. Sit. She shook her head. No, thank you. I just wanted to speak. I hope it's all right. It is, I said, curiosity prickling. She exhaled slowly. Ethan, you loved her when no one else did. You were patient, kind, devoted. You saw her in ways she couldn't see herself. I glanced down. I don't know if that mattered to her. It did, even if she didn't realize it, she said softly. I see it now. And it pains me, seeing her spiral the way she has. She's lost, Ethan. She's facing the consequences of choices she made herself. I didn't respond immediately. My chest tightened, but I kept my voice steady. What kind of consequences? Mrs. Dawson's eyes grew distant. She's unhappy. Confused. Constantly battling guilt and regret. She lost the version of you who loved her more than herself. And she doesn't know how to find her own peace without that. I felt a strange calm wash over me. And you're telling me this because? Because, she said, I think sometimes losing the right person is karma. Life teaching lessons in ways we don't expect. You were the right person for her. And she lost you. Her words hit me deeper than I anticipated. I had spent so many nights replaying her betrayal, replaying the anger and pain. But hearing it framed like this, not from Mia, not from Ryan, but from someone who saw the truth, it landed. I never thought of it that way, I admitted. Most people don't, she said. You loved her honestly. You didn't cheat. You didn't betray. You stayed true even when it hurt. That matters, Ethan. That always matters. I nodded slowly. It does feel good to hear that from someone who understands. She smiled faintly. You've been strong. You've let go in ways she never could. And that's why I came. To say thank you. For loving her when no one else did, and for letting go when it was your turn. Her voice was soft, full of a truth I couldn't argue with. You're welcome, I said. I think I'm ready to fully move on. She nodded. I hope you are. You deserve peace, Ethan. And I hope she finds hers too, eventually. I offered a small smile. Thank you, Mrs. Dawson. For coming, and for saying that. She turned to leave, pausing at the door. Sometimes, karma isn't about revenge. It's about balance. She's learning that the hard way. I watched her walk away, feeling an unexpected lightness in my chest. I closed the door quietly and leaned against it, taking a deep breath. Later, I walked under the streetlights, alone but unburdened. The cold night air filled my lungs, and I noticed how easy it felt to breathe. My steps were lighter, my mind quieter. I whispered to myself, I'm done with that part of my life. And for the first time in months, it felt true. I walked further, letting the streetlights guide me, letting the night remind me that some endings aren't just endings, they're beginnings. The world felt wider. My heart felt steadier. I was finally free. The park was quiet when I arrived, the sun just dipping below the trees. I spotted Lena near the fountain, her hair catching the last light. Hey, I called softly. She looked up and smiled. Hey, you made it. I took a deep breath. Yeah. I needed to walk, think. She nodded. I thought we could do that together. We started down the path, side by side. Silence stretched comfortably between us, not awkward, just peaceful. I've been thinking a lot, I said finally, about everything. Mia, Ryan, the lies, the fights, everything I lost. I know, Lena said. And yet here you are. I'm here, I admitted. But I'm not fully healed. Not yet. You don't have to be, she said softly. Healing isn't about perfection. It's about moving forward. I glanced at her. Forward? I think that's what I'm ready for now. To try again. To actually live. She smiled faintly, walking closer. Step by step. That's all anyone can do. I don't want to repeat the past, I said. I don't want to give my heart to someone who doesn't deserve it. But I don't want to close it off either. You won't, she said. Not if you choose yourself first. I exhaled, letting the words sink in. Choosing myself, that's new. I've always loved others more than me. And that's why you got hurt, she said gently. But you're learning now. You're stronger for it. I nodded, staring at the fountain. I can see it in myself. The man I am now, different from the one who walked into Mia's apartment that night. Yes, she said. Different, and better.
I swallowed hard. It still hurts sometimes.
The memories, they linger.
Memories fade, she said.
They don't disappear, but they lose power. You can carry them without letting them weigh you down.
I looked at her, grateful.
You make it sound easy.
It's not, she admitted. But it's worth it.
You're worth it.
I felt my chest tighten. I never thought I'd hear that.
I never thought anyone would tell me I'm enough.
You are, she said. And you don't need me to validate that.
I'm just reminding you. We walked in silence for a few minutes, the crunch of leaves underfoot the only sound.
Then she stopped and turned toward me.
So, are you ready to start trying again?
I hesitated, searching my own heart. Yes, I said finally. Not because I'm healed, but because I'm ready to live.
To trust myself to make better choices. To love wisely.
Her eyes softened. And I'll walk with you. Step by step.
No rush.
I let a small smile break through. Step by step, I echoed. I like that. You don't have to rush, Ethan, she said. And you don't have to be perfect.
You just have to be you.
I nodded slowly.
Being me, it's enough. It finally feels enough. The past no longer held me hostage. The betrayals, the heartbreak, the nights of tears, they belonged behind me. I could feel it in the way my shoulders relaxed, in the way the air felt lighter in my lungs.
I'm not fully healed, I admitted again, but I'm choosing myself.
And that makes me stronger than I've ever been.
Lena smiled and reached out.
Then let's start walking. I took her hand, and for the first time in months, the world felt open. The future wasn't something I feared anymore.
It was mine.
I stood taller, my heart steadier, and my steps surer. Not because someone saved me, not because anyone fixed me, but because I chose me. And in that choice, I found freedom. The past lost its power. The future felt endless. And for the first time, I was ready.